the whole thing is becoming interesting. Senator Natasha and Akpabio saga, the whole thing is becoming interesting. You will listen, you will listen the analysis. You will listen the analysis of this lady. Man, you know, one thing Senator Akpabio fails to understand, we are all men. We know, real man knows that what Senator Natasha is accusing Godswill Akpabio of, somehow, allegedly, he's somehow guilty of it because that woman is every man's dream. She is damn pretty, you know, and she's the kind of person that if any man desires to have her, and the person has to have some connections, the person will use his connections and contacts to make sure he lured her. But funny enough, she's not that kind of woman.
Dear Nigerians, as if you haven't heard enough of the sexual harassment scandal between Senator Natasha Akpoti and Senator Godswill Akpabio. Senator Natasha Akpoti has in a recent expose revealed how Senate President Godswill Akpabio sent her his nudes alongside 500 million naira, that is $500 million, in order to have her undress, finger herself, and tell him how her private part smells like. Man, this is really crazy. This is getting messy. So guys, stay tuned as I narrate to you what Senator Natasha Akpoti said that transpired on that fateful night that Senator Akpabio sent her 500 million naira and told her to tell him how her private part smells like. So according to Natasha Akpoti, she said, in December 2024, around 9 p.m., Akpabio called me on the phone and asked where I was. I told him I was in my bedroom. He then said if I was wearing night clothes. I said yes. Next, he asked what color they were, and I simply replied, red, not really paying attention to his intentions. Then, out of nowhere, he asked if I could undress and tell him. Curious to see where he was going with this, I played along and said, okay. After a moment, I told him I had undressed, even though I hadn't. That's when things took a strange turn. He told me to finger myself, smell my fingers, and describe the scent. Shocked, I asked why. Instead of answering, he told me to send my account number. Moments later, I received a credit alert of 500 million naira. Just for fun, he said. While I was still in disbelief, he asked me again about the smell. I jokingly told him it smelled like a clean armpit with the scent of a tired woman. He laughed and told me he was in the mood, asking me to come over to Transcom Hotel in Abuja. I reminded him I was married, hoping it would end the conversation. But he casually brushed it off, saying, if you don't want your husband to know, he won't know. Then, as if it was nothing, he admitted that the money he sent to me was originally for a road project in Abuja, but told me I could keep it. To prove how aroused he was, he even sent me a picture of his dick. At that point, I told him this is too much. I'm a married woman. That's when his tone changed. He said, soon, your Senate seat will be empty, and that's where our problems began. The next day at the Senate House rest home, he blocked my way and said he wanted to grab my ass. To avoid causing a scene, I let him. But when he tried to hold on for longer, I pushed him away and walked off. Now wow. But wait a minute. Did I hear Senator Natasha Akpoti said she let Akpabio grab her ass? Or did I not read right? I mean, if that was really the case, that means this matter is really long. Because I don't understand. She allowed him to grab her ass, but when it was taking longer, she had to push him away. These two senators haven't really told us what's between them. As in, can you imagine this rubbish? This is why Natasha has so much courage in dragging him all around the world. Senator Natasha has literally taken her case of sexual harassment with Akpabio to all the big media platforms in the world, and still doing more because she believes she has concrete evidence to back her claims. Honestly, this is very messy, but her actions are highly commendable. This fight is not just for her, but for every girl child out there who had been sexually harassed in one way or the other. She's the voice of every sexually harassed girl child out there, both in Nigeria and Africa at large. May this case really get the justice it really deserves. However, let's have your own thoughts in the comment section below over this whole thing because it's getting deeper than we thought. Hearing that Senator Natasha let Akpabio grab her ass, or maybe I didn't read well, but that was crazy, man.
I made an allegation of sexual harassment against the President of Nigerian Senate, Senator Akpabio on the 5th day of March 2025, and the very next day I was suspended for 6 months. I believe my suspension was illegal, it's unjust, and it's just a way of silencing me.
The Nigerian Senate has stated that your suspension is not related to the allegations that you've made of sexual harassment or assault, but due to gross misconduct and unruly behaviour on your part, firmly refuting what they call the deliberate misinformation and false narrative being circulated regarding your 6-month suspension.
Anna, yes, they did mention that I was suspended on accounts of gross misconduct. But can they please provide exactly what the gross misconduct is that amounts for 6 months suspension the day after I submitted a petition? I was suspended because of that petition, not because of any gross misconduct. Let's talk about the gross misconduct that have happened in the Nigerian chambers. I was only told to move, and I refused to move my seat because I deserve to be notified. I deserve to be given a chance to explain why I should retain my seat. But you see, I have seen in that chambers where men fight, where senators throw items at each other, curse each other, shout at each other, you know, but they were not suspended. Why? Because they are men? You know, there's this culture of silence, harassment and fear, intimidation that is intertwined with our culture, whereby a woman is supposed to sit pretty, to be seen only and not heard. I experienced sexual harassment over the past 1 year in the hands of the Senate President. And this sexual harassment, because I refused to yield to his demands, turned into malice, whereby my rights and privileges as a senator were being deprived. I found the courage to speak up. Yes, the breaking point was that moving me from that seat. Silently, I have had to endure a whole lot.
Are you able to tell us the allegations that you are making against him then?
Things got difficult for me. I was always complaining, I have this motion to pass, he's not letting me. And my husband will actually walk to him because they are friends. My wife has a very important bill. Her constituency need this. Why don't you give her a chance to speak? And he'll tell me, okay, next time, next time. So he deliberately kept on denying me this. And each time I walk to him alone, he'll tell me, you know what? Right here, I'm the chief presiding officer of the National Assembly. So you have to please me, make me happy to get these privileges. And that happened several times. And because I refused, it developed into malice.
He obviously denies the allegations. You've been speaking out very publicly about this, which presumably alludes to the one-sided part of this debate. Was it wrong for you to broadcast this on television, do you think, to make the allegations that way?
Which other way was I going to make it that would have made my voice heard?
Yeah, it was multiple times.
Did the Senate President ever make any sort of advances towards you in the chamber or in the Senate?
Yes, in front of senators. He's done that. There was a time I forgot to wear my ring. I rushed to work, forgetting to wear my ring. And there were about 5 senators there. And he was, oh, Natasha, you're not wearing your ring. Is this an invitation to treat? And then there was another time he made a statement like, Natasha, your husband is really enjoying. It looks like you'll be able to make good movements with your waist.
So the Senate President said this?
He says that, yeah. He makes such sexist statement, and then they all laugh.
When the Senate President allegedly made this comment to you, there were other senators present?
Yeah. They said, in the Senate, we're all men. She should be used to this.
How did the other senators respond to that?
Just laugh. The culture of shaming a woman who dares speak of something that is like a taboo is real. And that is that culture we must break and shred.
And data that I've had to deal with.
And can you explain to us what Senate authorities told you about why they were suspending you?
They summed it up to say I was suspended for gross misconduct as against my allegation of sexual harassment. But I believe that I was suspended to silence me from speaking forth, more like punishing me and setting an example so that no other woman would dare speak on such things, especially against powerful men. So they say I was suspended for gross misconduct. And I ask, what exactly amounts to the gross misconduct? Was it because I refused to move my seats? We have, there were videos that popped up whereby the same Senate President in the 8th Assembly years back, he also had a brawl in the chambers because his seat was moved when he was not duly notified.
Right.
And his countenance, there was actually much more. In the Nigerian Senate, we have had senators gone physical on themselves, shouted, insulted, cursed, and even threw items at themselves. They were not suspended. So why me? I think I am just victimized. And that's the bigger picture of how women are treated in politics in Nigeria.
And could I
but
just
let me
ask you,
say this. Let me say this, very important. I am not the first woman to have accused the same man, Senator Akpabio, of sexual harassment. There is a lady in the corporate arena about 3 years ago. Her name is Joy Nonie. She was the MD of NDDC. She actually spoke that she had to slap him when he tried grabbing her in a hotel. So this is not an isolated case. But again, I'm saying this. I would want the courage that I have gotten to speak about this ill, this societal vice. I want it to be taken serious because there are a lot of women who are suffering, not just in politics, not just in the corporate arena, but in universities and many places. Women are sexually harassed, and there is no safe spaces for us to vent and seek justice.
Okay, thank you for that. And of course, God's will.
Hello, you're watching Daily Events News, your favorite platform for amazing events happening across Nigeria. If you have watched up to this moment, thank you so much and kindly give us a thumb up. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. We really appreciate. And if you're seeing this handle for the first time, please kindly click on the subscribe button and turn on your notification button for more interesting updates. Also follow us across social media at Daily Events News. See you all in our next video and thanks for watching.